Lewistown Lady Panthers. The gym is rocking, and here come the defending state champions.
And Lewistown with a great crowd here, Roger. We had to park about a mile away from the gym as it is packed here at State College, and I think we're going to see a great following from Mifflin County once again this year.
Certainly are. And speaking of Mifflin County, the Belleville Mennonite Lady Trojans got Mifflin County off to a great start last night. BMS pulling an upset. Even though they were seated higher, I don't think many people expected BMS to win, but they beat Conemaugh Valley last night. They're in action tomorrow night, a game also on CHX from Mount Aloysius when they take on Bishop Carroll. But for tonight's game, two teams that have seen each other twice already this season, Joel. First game, no contest. Lewistown hammered Lock Haven from start to finish. The second time around, however, a different story. Lock Haven gave them a game for about a quarter and a half, but true to form, Lewistown pulled away in the second half and won. Let's focus right now on this Lock Haven team, though. Truly, without question, the team built around center Katie Rounsley, who scored 44 in this gym 2 nights ago when they won in overtime to advance to tonight's game. Without question, she is the key.
She is the key, and as we talked to Kevin Kodesh the other night on the Sports Talk show from the Clarion Inn, Roger, Kevin's looking for help side defense from his guards to help swarm Katie Rounsley if she gets the ball underneath. Lewistown has to keep her from the scoring column. And if they can get, Lock Haven needs her to play a strong game. If they don't have Katie Rounsley, I think you might see a 30 or 40-point Lewistown win tonight.
What surprised me about Lock Haven's win in the opening round over a St. Mary's squad was not that Rounsley scored 44, but that the team, Joel, put in 91 points. That means the rest of the team tossed in 47, which has not been the case for Lock Haven this year. Rounsley's been accounting for about 75% of the offense, so they got points from other people. And I can tell you from coaches in the Mountain League, the other two people who have been the most consistent are Brooke Martin and Tara McBride. Brooke Martin, just a freshman who has contributed quite well this season. McBride, a sophomore. Those two have been putting up some decent numbers. Both were in double figures in that game here the other night. Also, a real surprise, Melanie Gladden, who did not contribute a whole lot during the season, moved in from the state of Georgia this past summer. 6 3-pointers in the last ball game.
And the one thing you like about those 3 other girls, Roger, is the size. Katie Rounsley, we talked a little bit earlier, goes in at 6'1". Brooke Martin is 5'10". Tara McBride is 6 foot. She's only a sophomore. And Melanie Gladden is also 5'10". So they could give some Lewistown some height advantage problems.
I think this is a good opening round game for Lewistown. One, in that they have to get off that schneid if it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. 2, because they're going to go up against a big team. Which many people think if there is any weakness, that is it. But I tell you what, the Lewistown Lady Panthers have looked, to me, flawless this season. That one loss at Bishop Guilfoyle might as well have been 2 years ago.
Well, if anything, if you can ever have a good loss, you got to look at that as a good loss. It happened back in December in a packed house at Bishop Guilfoyle, a fired-up gym by the Bishop Guilfoyle fans. And Bishop Guilfoyle probably played their best game of the season. That was the same month they defeated defending A champion Williamsburg.
Right.
They came back and beat Lewistown, but Guilfoyle has had some problems since that point. So, a good loss for Lewistown if you can ever look at a loss as being good.
By the way, this is not only a doubleheader for Lewistown here tonight with the girls here and the boys following, but it's a doubleheader for Lock Haven fans as well. And we can tell you that the Lock Haven boys have advanced to the next round. They just defeated Brookville in the first game here tonight, 63-57. Looking at the brackets, that means Lock Haven will take on the winner of our nightcap tonight, the Lewistown boys and St. Mary's matchup. And for our opening game here this evening, Lock Haven Lewistown, the winner of that game gets the winner of a game being played Friday at Purchase Line between Penn Cambria and Brookville. So that's a little bit about Lock Haven. We'll come back and tell you the latest on the defending state champions from Lewistown. You're listening to the pregame show on Chicks 105. Into a full house at State College High School. Roger Hurto and Billy Joe Diamond with you tonight, bringing you the opening game between the Lewistown Lady Panthers, coming in with a record of 23-1. We mentioned they only lost this season against Bishop Guilfoyle, unbeaten in Mountain League play, 4 consecutive Mountain League championships, and trying to win yet another district title starting off here tonight. One thing about this AAA field for the girls and boys, Joel, 1 win tonight means you're in the state tournament. They take 4 teams from District 6 and AAA.
And that is both the girls and the boys. So Lewistown win here tonight in both games will put them both in the state tournament, and that's some incentive. Wayne Brookhart has said to us this is his biggest game of the year because he needs to win this one to go to the state tournament, and I'm sure Kevin Kodesh feels the same way.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing else really matters at this point. You can throw the records away. It's one game at a time. Lady Panthers, I am very impressed, Joel, not at the record or anything else, but just the way they've conducted themselves and handled business. You mentioned the other night, I think the best description, they've had that target on their back all season long. Everybody's been gunning for them each and every night. I think they have played just superbly when you consider that everybody's up for them every given game. And boy, the trio that did it a year ago, some people questioned what was going to happen when Enid Dunmeyer was no longer there, when Sweeta Hutchinson was no longer there. I think we found that the young kids that have stepped in have done an adequate job, an admirable job to fill in. I think we've also found out that the trio has taken their level a notch higher.
The trio has definitely taken their level a notch higher. We're talking about Krista Gingrich, Maggie Johnston, and Jenna Feathers. Krista Gingrich and Maggie Johnston, of course, will be Division I scholarship players next year in college. But the four players you're talking about, Roger, are Hillary Worley, Andy Zampelli, Heather McElwain, and Nikki Snyder. And I know from my chair, I've seen improvement of those four throughout the season, and they're ready for postseason action, I believe.
I think they truly are. I think for Lewistown, the big thing for Kevin has been to try and challenge this team schedule-wise. You know, quite frankly, in the league, they did not get the challenges that they had in the past. I think the league is just as strong. I just think this Lewistown team is that much better. I mean, you look at league games, I guess the only league game that was even somewhat close was the Indian Valley game the second time around. Otherwise, they put it to everybody in the Mountain League pretty solidly.
Well, I'll have to disagree with you a little bit on that, Roger. Last year in the Mountain League AAA, if you remember the ratings, District 6 had 3 teams that were rated in the top 10 throughout most of the season. That included Tyrone and Central. This year, they have not been in the top 10. It's really been Lewistown in the top 10. Central's been in other teams to watch. Indian Valley, of course, plays Quad A, and they've been in other teams to watch in Quad A. So,
good point.
I think the level might be down just a hair this year in the Mountain League, but it's still very competitive. But as you said, I think Lewistown has been able to step up their level and just dominate the teams a little bit more this year.
I think the key for the Lewistown girls have been to not play at the level of whoever they're playing and to challenge themselves every night. I think Kevin deserves a lot of credit for making sure this team has come out and played against themselves, not played against their opponent. One other thing for Lewistown as we enter tonight's basketball game, we mentioned, of course, they are the defending district and state champions. Lady Panthers have just dominated at this gym, Joel. We remember the opener here, I think it was a year ago, when they led, was it 35-0 at the end of the first quarter?
Yes, it was. We were astonished in that game because Lewistown came out, and they've been known to come out of the gates in the first quarter and at the beginning of the second half and put a 10, 12-point run on the board. They put a 35-point run on the board last year in the first quarter here, and that game was over real quickly.
Yeah, hopefully, although we do want the Lewistown girls to obviously win big here tonight, hopefully we will not have a repeat of a 35-point blowout in quarter number 1. Your thoughts about playing a team 3 times? Mark Stern, head coach of Lock Haven, in just his first season, is pretty confident about his team. In fact, he made the statement to me that if there was a third cycle, he thought he could move up. He didn't say he could contend with Lewistown, but he thought he'd move up in the rankings, and quite frankly, they probably have been one of the more improved teams the second cycle in Mountain League play.
Typically, I would say playing a team 3 times is dangerous, but with this Lewistown team and the contenders that they might meet in the district playoffs from the Mountain League, I don't think it's a problem. I think they are that much better than the competition, and I'm not sure it matters if you play them once, twice, or 3 times. I think it is an advantage for Lock Haven to see them for the 3rd time, but I'm not sure they can stop Lewistown tonight.
And this has pretty much turned into a home court for Lewistown the past couple seasons, deservedly so. The boys and girls #1 seeds, and again, a packed house, mostly blue and white here. Believe me, even though it's a doubleheader for Lock Haven, Lewistown fans, we'll have to get a direct number from Statman on this, but Lewistown fans easily, maybe 4-1 over the Lock Haven contingency here tonight at State College. We're about 2 minutes away from the starting lineups. It's Lewistown and Lock Haven girls District 6 AAA basketball. We'll be back to run down the starting lineups right after this. Back again live at State College High School. And the ovation you hear are the Lewistown fans standing as one as the Lady Panthers are introduced to a jam-packed crowd. Quickly, we'll get the starting lineups from Billy Joel Diamond.
Thank you, Roger. Lock Haven will go with a 3-guard offense. Will start Christina Stern, who is Mark Stern's daughter, I believe, at 1 guard. She'll be joined by Brooke Martin and Melody Gladden, who we talked about in our pregame show. Tara McBride will be at the forward position, and the center will be senior Katie Rounsley.
And of course, Lock Haven coached by Mark Stern. Again, his first season at the helm. Now the starting lineups for our Lewistown Lady Panthers.
Lewistown also will go with a 3-guard offense, as they'll start the trio that we talk about so much, well-deservedly so. Krista Gingrich, Maggie Johnson, and Jenna Feathers. They'll be joined by Hillary Worley and Heather McElwain.
And of course, the Lady Panthers will rotate to the bench. We'll see a lot of post players shuffled in and out of the game tonight. Nikki Snyder has been used quite often this season, as has Andy Zampelli. And we'll even see maybe 1 or 2 of the other guards into this lineup. But Lady Panthers wearing the home white, and Lock Haven the visiting purple for tonight's contest. Set to go. Katie Rounsley, Joel, pumped up for tonight's contest. Went over to shake Kevin Kodish's hand, gave him a 5 that nearly knocked Kevin back into the bleachers.
Yeah, Kevin's hoping she left her game in the pregame introductions. As, she's wound up ready to go tonight. Kevin Kodish, by the way, Roger, has 17 players dressed tonight.
Opening tip is controlled by Lewistown. Krista Gingrich has the ball, and the Lady Panthers moving from our right to left. Gingrich in the lane, pull-up jumper off back rim, no good. Gingrich rebound, kicks to Maggie Johnston. Johnston out top, penetrates the lane, spin dribble, left hand off to Jenna Feathers. Back out to Gingrich. Krista driving the lane, picks up the dribble in the high post to McElwain. Loose ball ends up with Feathers. Feathers penetrates, skip pass to Worley, wide open, and Hillary Worley lays it up and in for 2. And Lewistown grabs the early lead, 2-0 here at State College.
Lock Haven starting in his zone defense.
Full court pressure, and the Lady Bobcats nearly throw it away. In fact, I think they do. No, they do not. The official says it was last touched by Lewistown. Looked like it should have gone off Katie Rounsley because, well, the official signaled the wrong way. Evidently, he's got some jitters here tonight because he pointed the wrong way. He's now conferring with one of the other officials. And yes, he does correct himself that he had pointed in the wrong direction, so it will be Lewistown ball. Ball last touched by Katie Rounsley of Lock Haven. Jenna Feathers windbound in the backcourt. This really shocks me. Lock Haven picking up in full court man against these Lewistown guards. Maggie Johnston brings the ball across midcourt, dribbles right past Brooke Martin, but has it knocked away and stolen. Turnover for Lewistown, and now a foul for Lewistown, as Heather McElwain didn't mean to, but ended up running over Brooke Martin, the freshman. So Lock Haven inbounds on the far side, trailing 2-0.
Brooke Martin with a little trouble controlling the ball. She's bringing it up the court. McElwain couldn't stop and ran into her backside.
Lock Haven on offense, they go right inside, and putting it up and in for 2 is the freshman Brooke Martin. We're tied at 2 at the 7-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Lewistown pushing it up the floor, and another turnover. Maggie Johnson's entry pass down low to Krista Gingrich knocked away, and Lock Haven will inbound in the backcourt.
You know, this is a game, Roger, where Lock Haven has nothing to lose. They can let it all out from the get-go, and they are, as you said, we're surprised to see them with full court pressure.
Christina Stern working the point, tries to lob inside to Rounsley. Rounsley double team and tied up by Heather McElwain. The alternating possession arrow will give it to Lock Haven. You can see the game plan there, Joel, about a 30-foot lob pass inside to Rounsley.
And Lewistown had McElwain and Worley right there for the double up, and they did a good job of tying Katie Rounsley up.
Brooke Martin on the inbound, and a 5-second call. Lock Haven a little bit late getting it in. They had cleared and had a one-on-one matchup. I'm not sure why they just didn't lob it up top right away, but the turnover gives it back to Lewistown. Full court pressure. Lady Panthers across midcourt. 3-on-2. Johnston to Worley, wide open, and Hillary lays it up and in for 2. She has both Lewistown buckets, and the Lady Panthers lead 4-2. 6:30 to play in the opening quarter. A whistle and a timeout taken by Lock Haven. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back with more high school basketball right after this. Up by Worley, stolen by Worley, in fact, and now they're going to call foul against Lock Haven. Tara McBride, the sophomore, whistled for the foul. So a turnover by Lock Haven in that press, and I tell you, Lock Haven has had probably more practice against a press than any team in the Mountain League, as everybody has pressed this team all season.
Well, when you look at the lineup, they're a big team and they don't have a lot of ball handlers, so everyone has gone after Lockhaven.
Lewistown back with the ball. Krista Gingrich dribbles all the way to the bucket. Picks up the dribble, skip pass, throws it away. Maggie Johnston, however, right there to run it down. Johnston in the lane with a running one-hander up and in. Maggie Johnston hits for two, and Lewistown leads 6-2 at the 6-minute mark.
Good penetration that time by Maggie Johnson, got that running one-hander.
Christina Stern in the backcourt, bringing it up against Johnston, brings it across the timeline, and now the Lady Bobcats lob it inside, knocked away by McElwain. However, Brooke Martin there, but then knocked away and stolen again. Here comes Lewistown, 3-on-2. Feathers to Johnston on the baseline. Maggie misses the layup. Worley there, her shot is blocked. Feathers somehow scores. Jetta Feathers between two defenders put it in, and the lead for Lewistown is 8-2.
Lewistown getting their transition game going as Heather McElwain's going to pick up a quick second foul here. She climbed all over Katie Rounsley's back.
Rounsley had to come up and help on the press, as she has had to do. I'll tell you, Katie is a solid player, and she has had to pretty much play the role of a guard against full court pressure. Substitutions now. Heather McElwain goes to the bench, and junior Nikki Snyder checks in for the Lady Panthers. Lockhaven in the backcourt, trailing 8-2. 5:30 to go in the opening quarter, and they throw deep to Rounsley. Rounsley one-on-one against Snyder, all the way to the bucket, missed the shot. Loose ball, and Worley comes up with an outlet pass to Johnson. She's got Gingrich at the other end. Krista to the hoop, and misses the layup, gets a rebound, back up and scores. Good second effort by Krista Gingrich, and Lewistown up big, 10-2 here in the first quarter. Lockhaven trying to get a timeout. The ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by Lewistown. And let's see if the Lady Bobcats do want a timeout. I think Katie Rounsley was trying to call one on her own. Now they will stop the clock with a timeout. 10-2 Lewistown early in the first quarter. Back with more action from State College right after this. Hey, Jim?
Yeah,
This will be a minute.
a minute.
Yeah, if you can.
I can do anything.
I know you can. Full court pressure, Katie just has no help.
No. Man, Lewistown getting in that transition game, they're in trouble.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Back at State College after the timeout, Lockhaven right inside to Katie Rounsley, and she puts it up and in for two to stop the drop. But Lewistown back quickly, and Maggie Johnston with a pull-up jumper up and in, and the Lewistown lead back to 8 points at 12-4. More full court pressure. Katie Rounsley got away with a walk on the far side. Gingrich, however, may have just gotten away with a foul, guarding Christina Stern. Both Stern sisters, in fact, now in the ball game. Christina and Selena. Near side, Selena Stern lobs inside. Rounsley up in the trees, brings it down, misses the shot, rips down her own rebound and scores. Katie Rounsley inside when she gets it that low, Joel, will not be stopped.
She's a battler in there.
And hard to the bucket goes Maggie Johnston, and she is hammered to the floor. Take your pick. 3 different Bobcats were there, and they all hit Maggie pretty hard. I guess that's the old adage, if you're going to foul, Joel, you might as well make it a good one.
And it probably was against the player Lockhaven would like to see the least. It was on Katie Rounsley. And, you know, that's the one thing. If she gets in foul trouble, it's going to be a real long night for Lockhaven.
6-point lead for Lewistown. 12-6 is the score, with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. The first of 2 tonight from State College. Lewistown boys follow against St. Mary's. At the line, Maggie Johnston misses the first of 2 foul shots.
Maggie, very good at the free throw line. Didn't get that first one, but she hits over 80% of her free throws.
Second shot by Johnston is good. 13-6 Lewistown. Again, more full court pressure. And Lewistown now going with a zone press. Earlier it was just straight man. Lockhaven gets it across to Christina Stern. Stern goes to Rounsley in the high post. Nice backdoor cut by Selena Stern. Great pass on the baseline. And Lockhaven doing a nice job there, getting a layup. Putting it up and in for 2 is Jen Walliser, another sophomore. And the lead is cut to 5. 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Feathers to the bucket, kicks to Worley, and a double dribble against Hillary Worley in the corner. So a turnover for Lewistown. Statman tells me that's number 3 for the Lady Panthers. Lock Haven, on the other hand, Joel, with 5 midway through the first quarter.
And you expect Lock Haven to have some against this Lewistown pressure. Lewistown a little sloppy in the early going tonight. But again, they haven't played in a week, and it's good to get this first game under your belts.
Lock Haven back with the basketball at the midcourt line. Katie Rounsley will walk it across, guarded there by Nikki Snyder. Rounsley nearly walked, gives it up to Christina Stern. Stern guarded by Johnston, knocked away, loose ball, but Rounsley has it. Katie to the bucket, splits 2 defenders, score it, and she's fouled. I tell you what, I've been telling college scouts all year long, for some reason they keep looking past this kid. I have not seen a better post player in Central Pennsylvania. Rounsley can do it all, Joel. Showed she can handle the ball. And there, makes a nice, strong move to the bucket.
My sources tell me that Bucknell is coming on and taking a good look at Katie Rounsley here late in the season.
Rounsley misses the foul shot. Katie actually looks a little bit gassed out there right now. And back comes Lewistown with the ball and a 3-point lead. Maggie Johnston out top, guarded there by the freshman Brooke Martin. They give it up to Gingrich in the high post. Gingrich guarded by Melody Gladden, picks up the dribble, goes in the corner to Worley. Out top, Johnston for 3, no good. Long rebound, and Lewistown might have got away with a push there. That's Brooke Martin trying to get the rebound, ended up getting launched out of bounds. Substitution for Lock Haven coming into the ball game for the Lady Bobcats is number 54, Tara McBride.
Roger, defensively, Lock Haven is playing 2 girls on Krista Gingrich, Selena Stern as well as Melody Gladden.
And to the bucket, Gingrich does not get the shot. She ends up on the floor. Katie Rounsley trips over, and Lock Haven back with the basketball. Selena Stern with the ball. They lob inside to Rounsley. Triple team knocked away and stolen. Here comes Maggie Johnston, 1-on-2. Johnston spin move in the paint. Left open, pull up jumper. No good. Rebound Worley. Her shot no good, but she's fouled. And I think that might be on Katie Rounsley, Joel.
I believe you're right, Roger, and that'll be her second foul, and that is something that Mark Stern did not want to see, as we've only played a little bit over 5 minutes here in the first quarter.
And I tell you what, I think Rounsley needs a breather too. She is breathing heavily as she comes to the bench. 2 fouls early in the ball game here. 2:53 to go in the first quarter. It's Lewistown 13, Lock Haven 10. Hillary Worley at the line, shooting 2.
You know, you're wondering if Lewistown's going to spread the court a little bit, Roger. With Krista Gingrich being double teamed, someone has to be wide open, and I mean she is being double teamed. There are 2 girls with her everywhere she goes offensively.
This strategy has been used against Lewistown a couple times earlier this season. At the line, Worley missed the first but made the second, and the lead is 14-10. Look for Lewistown to really step up with the full court pressure now without Rounsley in there. Lock Haven breaks it, however. Gladden across midcourt. Ball knocked away, loose on the floor, and another turnover. Maggie Johnston up court to Gingrich. Krista, great pass to Worley underneath, and Hillary lays it up and in. And Hillary Worley, the benefactor of some layups here all through this first quarter. And a whistle on the floor, and I believe a contact problem. Melody Gladden, smart move by Melody because Lock Haven wanted to get Katie Rounsley back in the game. Not saying that she did not have a contact problem, but it was a good one on her part to get the officials' attention. They were not charged with a timeout, and now they're making wholesale substitutions as they get some of their starters back in. Brooke Martin back in the ball game along with Katie Rounsley.
Well, you have to look at what Mark Stern's doing. He does not want this to be a blowout here in the first quarter, and it wouldn't matter how much Katie Rounsley played after that.
Lock Haven breaking the pressure. They get it up for a pull-up jumper, no good, and a loose ball on the floor, and it comes out to Lewistown. Zampelli with a rebound, outlet to Feathers. Jenna spin move to the bucket, and she scores! Showtime for the Lady Panther Junior. She lays it up and in, and the Lewistown lead is back to 8 points. And Lewistown may have gotten away with another foul there. Rounsley looking at the official. Lock Haven keeps lobbing it up the floor. Zampelli that time defending against Katie.
Well, both players have fair position, and it's really a jump ball situation.
Lock Haven again lobs inside to Rounsley. Rounsley to the bucket, and she scores. Katie Rounsley with 2 more, and the lead for Lewistown is 18-12. Maggie Johnston will bring it across the timeline up to Feathers. Jenna with the ball. Far side Zampelli, great pass underneath to Snyder, no good, but she's fouled. Tara McBride fouls Snyder in the act of shooting. So the junior will be at the line shooting a pair for Lewistown. 3 team fouls, excuse me, that's now the 4th on Lock Haven, 3 on Lewistown. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Lewistown up by 6.
That is Tara McBride's second foul also as she comes to the bench. Nikki Snyder, as I've said in a couple games earlier this season, will shoot her free throws like Dawn Nelson, Roger.
That is correct. Shot is no good. Snyder misses the first. Lewistown not quite up to par at the line, at least early here from what they normally do in a ball game. Second shot by Snyder is also no good, but Zampelli with a rebound. Out to Gingrich. Christa at the three-point line, inside to Snyder with a left hand, and Nikki puts it up and in for 2. 20-12, Lewistown. And there, Lewistown does get a foul. Katie Roundsley had the ball at midcourt. Snyder tried to knock it away. Lewistown fans on the far side did not like the call, but from our vantage point, a clear foul as she had the wrist of Katie Roundsley. 4 team fouls now on both squads with 1:30 to go in the first quarter.
Or excuse me, Snyder saw an opening there for a steal. Unfortunately, it was a second late.
And Lock Haven throws away the inbound, stolen by Gingrich. Down court to Zampelli. On the baseline, she scores. Andy Zampelli for 2. And Lewistown's lead is back to 10, 22-12. We're approaching 1 minute here in the first quarter.
Christa Gingrich only with 2 points, but 5 assists here in the first quarter.
Stern on the baseline for Lock Haven. Her shot is blocked by Zampelli, and Snyder with a rebound. Outlet pass to Gingrich, and Christa has the ball knocked away out of bounds by Melody Gladden. And Lewistown will inbound in the backcourt. Gingrich all the way down to Jenna Feathers. I think she may have walked, but she shoots a 3 and buries it. Looked like she picked up both feet to get set, but she buried the 3. 25-12. Lewistown by 13. Brooke Martin at the other end for Lock Haven. Pull-up jumper, no good. Loose ball on the floor. A whistle and a reach-in foul against, I believe, Lock Haven. Looks like the call will go against, I thought it was going to be Brooke Martin, but I think he signaled 42.
Well, let's check that call. I thought it was Brooke Martin also. I'm not sure there's a 42 on the court for
32 make that.
That's Selena Stern.
So Selena Stern, the freshman, whistled for the reach-in. 45 seconds and counting left in the first quarter. Lewistown with the ball, leading by 13. Loose ball on the floor, turnover by Gingrich. Roundsley with a steal. Up court to Gladden. Gladden pull-up jumper, no good. And loose ball in the corner. Gladden looked like she was all over the back of Maggie Johnston there. No foul called, but the ball went out of bounds to Lewistown.
For the most part, the referees are letting them play. Interesting defense that last time by Lock Haven as they attacked Christa Gingrich with 3 girls that time and caused her to turn it over.
Yeah, run and jump 3-2, but this time Lock Haven has nobody back. Gingrich down to Nikki Snyder, and Snyder lays in another uncontested layup. And it's 27-12 Lewistown. Lead is 15. We're down to 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Katie Roundsley brings it across midcourt, hands off to Stern. 10 seconds now and counting in the corner. Stern lobs inside to Roundsley. Loose ball on the far side and a foul against Jenna Feathers of Lewistown, as Jen Walliser was trying to go to the bucket for the Lady Bobcats and was fouled with 7 seconds left in the quarter. And look for a lob pass inside here to Roundsley with 7 seconds to play. Substitution now for Lewistown, and they'll probably try to get either Gingrich or Feathers or Johnston a breather. It's going to be Feathers, as Kevin Kodish sends in Jada Purcell for the final 7 seconds of the first quarter. Lock Haven on the inbound, they get it into Roundsley. Roundsley on the block, up and in. And Gingrich quickly, 2 seconds, 1, throws up a 3-pointer at the buzzer. Oh, and she nearly put it in. Nearly put it in. 27-14, Lewistown leads at the end of quarter number 1. We'll be back at State College right after this.
Can't play 32 minutes with them. They can't stay with them for 32, Roger. Christa's got, I think, 6 assists. give up those easy layups. I mean, and her assists have been for layups. Worley has 7 also.
3, 2, 1.
Back again live at State College, set to start the second quarter of play. Lewistown with the basketball. They inbound on the far side with a 27-14 lead. Andy Zampelli gives it up to Gingrich. Christo on the baseline, pull-up jumper, no good. And the offensive rebound to Zampelli. Out top to Purcell, far side to Gingrich. Krista splitting 2 or 3 defenders to the bucket, misses the shot. And Katie Roundsley with a defensive rebound for the Lady Bobcats. So Lock Haven will bring it across midcourt. Trailing Lewistown 27-14. Brooke Martin tries to go inside to Roundsley. Snyder knocks it away. Lock Haven fans wanted a foul, but none called. I thought good position that time for Lewistown inside. Lewistown at the other end trying to go inside. Ball knocked away by Lock Haven. So the Lady Panthers will get an inbound under their own bucket with 7:22 left in the second quarter. Lewistown leading 27-14.
Krista Gingrich only with 2 points, as we said in the first quarter. She's being hounded by 2 Lock Haven girls all over the court, but she does have 6 assists.
Snyder into Gingrich, pull-up jumper by Krista, no good. Rebound, Snyder rips it away, back to Gingrich, and Krista scores. Good job by Nikki Snyder with a rebound and the assist, and the lead is the largest of the ball game for Lewistown at 15 points. And Lock Haven at the other end throws it away. Another turnover as Roundsley's pass a little too tall for Jen Walliser, and Lewistown will inbound in front of their bench. Lineup for the Lady Panthers as Feathers checks back in is Worley, Snyder, Feathers, Johnston, and Gingrich. 7:04 to play in the first half. And Maggie Johnston will bring it across the timeline. Picked up there by Martin. Far side to Feathers. Out top to Snyder. Nikki at the three-point line goes wing on the far side to Gingrich. Krista inside, back outside. Great pass to Snyder underneath. Her shot is blocked, but she's fouled. Gingrich, a cross-court skip pass to the block, the opposite low block, and Snyder will be back shooting 2 for Lewistown.
Again, every time Krista touches the ball, there's a double team, but she's very capable of finding the open man, and she's done it very well tonight.
So Snyder back at the foul line, 0 for 2 thus far in the ball game. Nikki's first shot is no good. Snyder does not look to be real smooth tonight here at the foul line. I'm sure a little bit here Nikki will get it going. Second shot also no good. And Kate Roundsley with another defensive rebound for Lock Haven. And a steal, however, in the backcourt by Johnston. Maggie to the bucket, scored, and she's fouled. Maggie Johnston. Boy, that quickly. You let up for a second, Joel, and they nail you.
Christina Stern tried to throw over Maggie Johnston. Johnston went up in the air, stole the ball, went behind the back dribble, hard to the bucket, laid it up with the left hand, and gets the foul for the conventional three-point attempt.
Lead for Lewistown is now 17 at 31-14. Maggie at the line, puts it up and in. And a substitution now for the Lady Panthers. Katie Ware, the freshman, will check into the ball game, replacing Krista Gingrich. And Lock Haven in the backcourt got away with a travel, but it didn't matter because they threw it away anyhow. Maggie Johnston with another steal. Out top to Feathers. Feathers skip pass. Worley on the baseline. Hillary triple team back out to Ware. Right off the bench for 3. No good. Loose ball. Great hustle by Johnston. Back inside to Worley. Hillary on the block. Shot is rejected by Katie Roundsley. Lewistown wanted a foul. None called. And back comes Lock Haven with the ball. And that should have been a foul. Nothing called there. Loose ball on the floor. And Lock Haven's going to get whistled for the foul. Wow. Lady Panthers, I think, got away with that one there as Maggie Johnston had a collision with the girl with the basketball, Joel. Both people on the floor, ball went away, no foul called. And then Lock Haven hit with a foul as they went after the ball, and Mark Stern not real happy on the Lock Haven bench. Not only that, now over the limit, Lewistown will go to the free throw line.
Well, you had 4 girls on the floor, and again, there was a lot of contact by Maggie Johnson, but there was also some pushing on that coming down the court by Christina Stern. So I think the official, instead of calling on either of them, let them both go to the floor and see what happened.
That's one as a coach, though, that you look at that and you say to the ref when he comes over, you mean there's no foul anywhere on that play? Out top, Katie Ware, the freshman, in the game, and misses the first foul shot. It was a 1-and-1, and the defensive rebound Comes down to Lock Haven's Melody Gladden. Lady Bobcats across midcourt, but trailing by 18 with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Jenna Feathers with a steal. Patented steal by Feathers. All the way to the other end, waits to draw the foul, and does not hit the bucket. But she will go to the line and shoot two. And I tell you what, that's what Jenna does well. Her game is steals, pushing it to the other end, and there at the end of the play, showing she is very seasoned as a junior, Joel. Could have taken the two, but opted to try and get a three-point play, just baited the defender, and ended up getting the reach-in foul against Brooke Martin.
Lewistown does that so well with their three guards, Maggie, Krista, and Jenna. They know when to overplay all of them, and Jenna just has a knack of stepping into the passing lane and get some layups that way, and she's done a great job. She misses a free throw, but as you said, she's probably one of the best finishers Lewistown has also.
Lewistown not customarily here at the line tonight as they have struggled. They miss another one. So Feathers goes 0 for 2 in the defensive rebound to Gladden. Back comes Lock Haven, trailing 32-14. They try to lob inside. They go high-low pull-up jumper from about 15 feet up and in by Tara McBride. And it's 32-16. Lewistown with the ball and a big lead. Gingrich all the way through the defense. Scoop shot no good, and they tie up for the rebound as Hillary Worley and Tara McBride had tied it up. The alternating possession arrow will give the ball to Lock Haven.
Lewistown, as you said, Roger, uncharacteristically.
I had trouble with that word too, Joel.
1 for 6 from the free throw line here in the second quarter alone.
Lock Haven in the backcourt. Lewistown now dropping off and picking up in half-court man. Stern tries to go end-to-end and does. Lays it up and in. Nice move to the bucket by Christina Stern. And Lock Haven within 14. Lewistown quickly back to the other end. Feathers shot no good, and Katie Roundsley out of there with a defensive rebound. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter.
Lock Haven getting back on defense a little better here in the second quarter than they did in the opening quarter.
Roundsley in the high post with the basketball. Kicks back out top to Stern. Stern dribbling, double teamed, and Feathers nearly with a steal. Loose ball on the floor, and Feathers does get a steal. But Stern tries to steal it back. Feathers comes out of the back. Jenna to the bucket. 360 is short, but Worley with a rebound, and she puts it up and in. Jenna Feathers trying a reverse 360. I think she ran out of elevation trying to finish the shot. Timeout, Lock Haven. 34-18. The Lady Panthers in control. We'll be back at State College right after this.
A little out of control. She had some numbers that time.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
We'll go for a minute here.
Okay.
Kevin's using his bench a little bit earlier than he typically does.
Back live at State College after the timeout. Lock Haven with the inbound on the near side. They get it into Roundsley. Lady Bobcats with the ball, but trailing by 16. Lewistown picks up and man. Lock Haven tries to lob inside to Roundsley. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Panthers. So Lewistown gets the inbound under their own bucket. Jen Walliser will do the duties for Lock Haven. Goes outside with it to Gladden. Gladden will let it go for three from there, and in and out. And the rebound to Hillary Worley. Here comes Lewistown. Johnston to Gingrich. Krista all the way to the bucket and lays it up and in. Gingrich hits for two. And the lead for Lewistown. They are doubling Lock Haven now at 36-18.
Maggie that time saw Krista breaking away from the pack. Great pass.
And another loose ball at midcourt, nearly stolen by Lewistown. And now Maggie Johnston reaches in and ties up Selena Stern. And the alternating possession arrow gives it to the Lady Panthers. And the Lewistown guards wreaking havoc on Lock Haven.
As they usually do with everyone, Roger.
Across midcourt, Johnston with the basketball, guarded there by Walliser. Far side to Gingrich. Krista penetrating inside, bounce pass on the baseline. McElwain with a pull-up jumper, up and in. Heather McElwain for two. And Lewistown's lead is 20 points here in the second quarter.
Lewistown with 7 girls tonight in the scoring column.
Oh, and Kate Rounsley with a massive screen against Johnston, but Lewistown gets the steal down to Maggie, and she lays it up and in. Maggie hit with a blind screen, and I mean Rounsley leveled her right at midcourt, but Lock Haven ended up throwing it away, and Johnston got a layup at the other end. Lock Haven back down inside to Rounsley. Ball knocked away. Last touch by Katie Rounsley.
Good play that time by Krista Gingrich as Rounsley brought the ball down. Gingrich there to strip it from her, knocked it off her knee, out of bounds. It goes back to Lewistown.
And Lock Haven now with another turnover, and boy, they are mounting, really mounting here for the Lady Bobcats.
Well, it's a case of trying to keep up with this pace, Roger, and it's very difficult. Lewistown can run all night long. 17 turnovers. Oh, and Jenna Feathers called for an offensive foul, and the referee gave a good look at Jenna. I thought he might give her a technical as she threw the ball at him, bounced it at him on the floor. But Kevin Kodish with a quick timeout to settle things down. Timeout on the floor, 3:12 to go in the second quarter. Lewistown up 40-18. We'll be back at State College after this brief timeout. Just 30 here, Jim, okay?
Okay.
It's got to be so tough. Katie has to get so frustrated on this team.
That was a Phil Williams screen.
4, 3, 2, 1.
40-18, the Lewistown Lady Panthers up on Lock Haven with 3:12 to go here in the second quarter. The first of 2 from State College tonight. I'll be joined by Joe Pappas for the second game this evening when the Lewistown boys battle St. Mary's. And Billy Joel, I think it's a fair statement to say Joe has been quite impressed with his first look at the Lewistown Lady Panthers.
Yeah, he comes from a small area, I believe Long Island, and he hasn't seen basketball like this, so it's good for him to have an opportunity.
Lock Haven with the basketball on the inbound. Rounsley gives it back out to Brooke Martin, and Martin is fouled on the baseline, and that might put them in the bonus. I believe it will. Fouls whistled on Heather McElwain. I think it's the 17th foul. That's the third on McElwain, by the way. She'll go to the bench. And yes, they will be in the 1-and-1. Lineup now for the Lady Panthers is Zampelli, Worley, Snyder, and Gingrich and Johnston. At the foul line will be Brooke Martin for Lock Haven. Lady Bobcats need some points. They trail by 22. 17 turnovers. They're keeping Statman busy tonight, Joel. 17 for Lock Haven.
Make sure he has enough ink in that pen over there.
First foul shot up and good by Martin, and the lead is cut to 21.
That is only the second free throw Lock Haven has shot tonight.
Second shot no good. Rounsley controls the boards, tips it over, but the shot is missed. Wide open shot for Tara McBride, and she couldn't convert. Back comes Lewistown. Krista quickly picking it up the court. Splits 2 defenders, misses the shot, but she's fouled. In fact, grabbed from behind by Melody Gladden. And the All-American will go to the line and shoot a pair with 2:47 left in the second quarter.
That is the third foul also on Gladden, as we have 2 girls tonight in foul trouble with 3 in the first half. That is the 10th team foul also against Lock Haven, Roger, so Lewistown will be in the double bonus for the remainder of the half.
So Gingrich to the line. 40-19 is our score. Lewistown in command. Krista's first shot is up and good. As you mentioned, I think the sign of a champion, Gingrich not shooting her normal self tonight. Statman, I think, had her 2 for 11 or something like that. But she's been dishing out the assists, and there she goes 2 for 2 from the line.
Last time against Lock Haven, I believe she hit the nets for 46 that night.
42-19. Lewistown rolling over Lock Haven here in the quarterfinal rounds of the District 6 AAA bracket. And Zampelli with a steal for Lewistown. Zampelli running the break. Andy with a bounce pass. Well, not the way you draw it up. Oh, the official missed that. He needs some help. That ball was last touched by Lock Haven. Not exactly the way the Lewistown fast break has run over the years with Zampelli feeling whirly. But Lewistown did get a horrible call there, as it should have been their ball, but the officials give it to Lock Haven. They try to go inside to Rounsley, knocked away and stolen by Snyder. Back come the Lady Panthers. On the run, Johnston at the foul line. Dribbling to the left, goes to Gingrich in the corner. Krista from about 17, no good. Rebound by Zampelli, back to Gingrich. Krista, scoop shot, no good. And the rebound to Lockhaven and a foul against Nikki Snyder. You know, I can't remember a game in recent memory that we've done that Lewistown has dominated like they are now, 42-19, that we have not seen much perimeter shooting. I mean, it's been all layups tonight for the Lewistown girls.
Jenna Feathers had a wide open three off a fast break, and I believe that is the only three-point shot they've converted tonight.
At the line, Brooke Martin shooting 1 and 1, and the first shot is up and good. 42-20. Lewistown's girls up by 22.
Lewistown with very balanced scoring tonight also, Roger.
Second shot by Martin is also good. 21-point lead for Lewistown. Lady Panthers off the made foul shot, quickly push it up to Worley, wide open, and she scores. Beautiful sideline break. Johnston to Gingrich to Worley, and she lays it up and in. Boy, Hillary having a good night, and she's getting wide open layups, and another steal. Zampelli to Snyder to Gingrich, she scores. And Lewistown putting on a clinic now. With a minute 40 to go in the second quarter, up 46-21.
Lewistown just beating them at the game they want to play. Transition at its best.
Rounsley to the bucket for Lockhaven. That is her first shot attempt of the second quarter. They could not get her the ball. Give the Lewistown defense credit. Rounsley scores, but Lockhaven now down by 23. Maggie Johnston pulls up from about 10 feet, and she hits it. Johnston with a shot in the paint from about 12 feet, and it's 48-23.
We don't see 5 or 6 passes with this Lewistown offense, Roger, because they can put her up and put her in real quickly.
And a double team out stop stolen by Gingrich. Krista all the way to the other end. She's fouled hard and will go to the line and shoot 2. Jen Walliser wanted to make sure she did not make the bucket, so she got her high-low and all over the basketball as well. A minute 3 left in the half. The lead for Lewistown is 25 points.
I guess you can say that's a good foul. She definitely prevented Gingrich from getting the shot off, so Krista will have to earn the 2 at the free throw line. Lewistown looking to get halfway to the century mark here if she hits both of these.
And coming out of the ball game now for Lockhaven is Katie Rounsley. At the line, Gingrich, first foul shot is up and good. 49-23. The Lewistown girls in a romp here at State College. Second shot is also good. Again, some token full court man pressure by Lewistown. Stern in the backcourt gives it up to Martin. Martin going to be a nice player in the Mountain League for the next couple years. Again, she's just a freshman. And that time, however, an obvious illegal screen. I think that's what they called. And that'll send Lewistown to the other end shooting foul shots. Good call by the official as Martin saw Snyder slide about 2 feet from that screen. And she looked like an offensive tackle sliding out to block for a screen pass, Joel. And she's whistled for the illegal foul. And to the other end goes Lewistown in the bonus.
She did that right in front of one of the officials also, so he had no choice but to call it, as we have a couple official graders sitting beside us here tonight, Roger, and we'll keep an eye on how they're doing with the crew.
By the way, Lockhaven now with 10 fouls, so Lewistown in the double bonus as Maggie Johnson will shoot 2 shots. First foul shot up and good. Substitution for the Lady Panthers, Kim Maxwell enters the ball game, replacing sophomore Hillary Worley. Johnston at the line. Second foul shot is no good, but Zampelli with a rebound. Back out to Maggie. Skip pass to Maxwell to Gingrich. Krista splits 5 defenders, misses the layup, but Snyder with the offensive rebound and the putback. Full court pressure by the Lady Panthers. Stern in the backcourt for Lockhaven. That's Christina, lobs it up to her sister Selene. Another steal by Zampelli. Lewistown in full gear now. Johnston to Gingrich, and she scores. 55-23. Relentless pressure by the Lady Panthers with just 20 seconds now left to play in the quarter. Out top with the ball, they lob inside, does Lockhaven, but another steal for Zampelli. Andy really playing nice on defense. Gingrich full court now, pass down to Johnston. Maggie inside and scores. Scoring it well.
This team is
and
on a roll.
Lockhaven will mercifully let the clock expire. 57-23, Lewistown in command. We are at the half, and we'll be back with more on the halftime show from State College right after this. And welcome back again, folks, live to State College High School. Roger Hurto, Billy Joel Diamond, and the Stat Man with you for Game 1. Lewistown Lady Panthers in a romp, 57-23 in command over the Lady Bobcats of Lock Haven. An earlier game, by the way, here tonight had the interest of Lewistown fans as well, as Lock Haven's boys, also in the AAA bracket, defeated Brookville. The final there was 63-57, which means Lock Haven advances and will face the winner of our second game tonight between the Lewistown boys and St. Mary's. With me now is Lewistown boys head coach Wayne Brookhart. And Wayne, I know you came over early tonight to take a look at that first game. What did you see from Lock Haven? I guess a good move for the Mountain League in that they win again.
Yeah, it's nice to see our teams moving on, and Lock Haven looked tough. They play good man-to-man defense, and we'd love to have a matchup with them again, but St. Mary's is tough. We saw them the other night, and we're looking at tonight's game. That's what we're interested in.
Yeah, what can you tell me about the Flying Dutchman, a team that Lewistown did play a year ago? A game, I think, as Billy Joel told me, you commented on, that you never felt real comfortable about till it was over. What can we expect from St. Mary's tonight?
We got an early lead last year, and they just kept coming at us, and I think we were up 7 with about 3 minutes left, and we finally broke it open. They shoot threes real well. When we saw the play, they had 12 threes. They do have a big kid in the middle. He's a sophomore. He's about 6'6", nice shooting touch. They're a team that certainly we need to reckon with. There's not an easy team in our tournament. We're not expecting anything like that, regardless of the seeds.
Wayne, we have not seen your squad since they won the Mountain League Championship against Indian Valley and had some time off here. How's things been on the team? How do things look coming into tonight's game?
Well, we're practicing hard, and we feel as long as we play hard and play together, we can play with anyone. We said that all season. If we execute the things that we do, I think that's what we have to focus on. The threes that they shot, I know they shoot the ball well, but our defense is really structured to put pressure on the perimeter. So if they get that kind of shot against us, you'll know that we're not playing well.
State College has been a home away from home for Lewistown. Another packed house here tonight. Statman, I think, has the official count at 1,002 Lewistown fans out of a capacity of 1,500. It might be higher than that, but boys, has been a great atmosphere for both teams.
Yeah, I know we sold out the 1,000 we had in the building, and whatever we had is the walk-up, so we're doing pretty well here, and it's nice to have the fans behind us. It certainly helps when we come into a big game like this to know that it's not our home floor, but if we have a home away from home, as you said, this is probably it.
Okay, Wayne, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Rod.
Wayne Brookhart, head coach of the Lewistown boys, who we'll hear from tonight in the second game of our doubleheader when they take on St. Mary's. At the half of the girls' game, it's Lewistown all over Lock Haven, 57-23. Joel and I will come back and run down the halftime stats right after this. Joel Diamond back again live at State College High School, where the Lewistown Lady Panthers are, well, impressive would be one word, 57-23. They lead Lock Haven, and they have done what they needed to do. After Katie Roundsley scoring some points early, I think Statman had her just shooting one shot, maybe two, in that second quarter, and that's really been it. They have not been able to get in any semblance of a half-court offense. Lewistown defense triggers Lewistown offense, and as I mentioned, boy, nothing but layups tonight.
Nothing but layups, and you know, Krista Gingrich having a tough shooting night for Lewistown, and when you look at it, she still has 14 points in the first half, but Krista with, I believe Statman has her for 7 assists in the first half. And Lewistown really balancing the scoring tonight, Roger.
Yeah, they certainly are. And the other players, don't mean to call them that, but the other players, I guess they would be labeled because of the significance and the magnitude of Feathers, Johnston, and Gingrich. But the other players have really carried a nice even load tonight.
Yeah, looking at it, Hillary Worley in double figures in the first half also with 11 points. Nikki Snyder off the bench with 6. Heather McElwain's been in foul trouble. She has 3. Andy Zampelli's played some nice defense for Lewistown, and she's in the back of that press, and she's come up with 3 or 4 steals off that press.
Certainly has, and as we look at Lock Haven scoring, we mentioned Roundsley had a nice first quarter, but in the second quarter, we mentioned just 1 for 1 from the floor, only saw the ball one time. She is the only Lady Bobcat in double figures with 12 points. We are at the half, Lewistown rolling along 57-23, the Lady Panthers in front. We'll be back with the start of the third quarter from State College right after this. Welcome back to State College High School. Just getting set to start the second half of play. Lewistown girls up big, 57-23. Don't forget, following this game, the Lewistown boys will take the court. I'll then be joined by Joe Pappas, and we'll bring you that matchup between the Panther boys and the number 9 seed, the Flying Dutchman of St. Mary's. Lock Haven will get the first possession of the second half. They get the ball into Katie Rounsley, guarded there by McElwain, and she double dribbled. Can't believe she did that. Caught the ball, dribbled, picked it up, held it for a couple seconds, and took another. Turnover for Lock Haven, and they are mounting. Statman running out of room in the turnover column. 22 now the total for Lock Haven. Lewistown with the basketballs. Lock Haven now playing a 2-3 zone. Gingrich on the baseline, pull-up jumper, no good. And the defensive rebound comes down to Tara McBride. Here comes Lock Haven. Selena Stern up court to Melody Gladden. Gladden lobs inside over the head. Not a good pass to McBride, and another turnover. Jenna Feathers with the steal, bringing it up court. It's Johnston in the near quarter. Maggie driving the baseline. Out top, McElwain from the foul line. No good. And the defensive rebound to Tara McBride.
Good ball movement that time by Lewistown. Heather McElwain with an open 15-footer. Just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Melody Gladden out top to Brooke Martin, and it's picked again by Feathers. Feathers right by Martin, scooped, fouled, and will go to the line and shoot 2. Boy, Jenna Feathers, just a knack for timing a dribble and reaching in and getting a clean pick.
And that, and also a little change of pace dribble that time, Roger, as she sort of cruised down the court till she got to the foul line extended, and then turned it on a little bit, and she has the knack, as you said. She threw her body right into Brooke Martin as she went up in the air and drew the foul.
At the line, Feathers will shoot 2. 7:04 to go in the third quarter. Lewistown up 57-23.
Jenna, excuse me, Roger, 0 for 2 from the free throw line tonight.
And make it 0 for 3 as she cannot hit the front end. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Billy Joel Diamond and Joe Pappas will bring us back live coverage from Mount Aloysius, an early 6 o'clock start time when the Belleville Mennonite Lady Trojans are in action, taking on the Lady Huskies, the second-ranked team in the state, in fact, in single A. Lady Huskies of Bishop Care. We'll have that one tomorrow. Live starting at 5:45 on Chicks. Jenna Feathers missed the second foul shot. Lock Haven with a rebound, but they have another turnover, and here comes Lewistown, and Gingrich with another layup. Well, Krista not shooting well outside the paint, but inside the paint, she's laying them up and in, and Lock Haven just getting a heavy dose of these Lewistown guards, and in fact, not just the guards tonight. This has been a nice, solid, balanced effort for Lewistown. There's another turnover. However, Stern gets it back. Guarded by Johnston. Down low to Rounsley. Katie splits 2 defenders, misses, gets her own rebound, scored, and she's fouled. And it's either McElwain or Worley, I'm not sure which. Katie Rounsley at 6'1", and not your typical 6'1" girl, Joel, I think would be the best description of it. I think she's got the ability to do a lot more than your typical 6-foot player.
Yeah, Katie has handled the ball for Lock Haven in all parts of the press. But her strongest point, Roger, at least in the high school game, is down low, as that 6'1" makes a difference.
At the line, Rounsley hits the foul shot, completes the three-point play. The lead for Lewistown, as I get out the calculator, is 23 points. Out top with the ball, in fact, 33. Maggie Johnston for 3, no good, and she's fouled. And Johnston will go to the line and shoot 3. I guess I should have used a calculator, Joel. The lead is 33,
I needed to help you out on that a little bit, Roger. But Maggie's having a strong game for Lewistown. She's hit Krista on some fast break opportunities where Krista's got the lay-in and at half. Maggie had 15 points for the Lady Panthers.
Johnston at the line will shoot 3. Foul against Jen Walliser, her second. And the first shot up and good. Maggie very smooth at the free throw line. Second shot for the Panthers senior. Also up and in. By the way, the winner of this game, which I think we're now safe to say will be Lewistown, will advance on to take on the winner of a game being played. And the third foul shot good by Johnston, but she's called for a free throw line violation, saying Maggie stepped over the line. Winner of this game will take on the winner of a game being played Friday night between Brookville and Penn Cambria. And that game probably played next Tuesday, and heavily rumored to probably be another game here at State College High School. Lock Haven back on offense. Rounsley tries to go to the bucket. Ball knocked away out of bounds. And Lock Haven will get the inbound under their own hoop with 6:01 to go in the third.
Lewistown unable to get the running game going very much here in the third quarter.
There's Melody Gladden from about 35 feet. No good. Feathers with the rebound, and she's fouled. Pushed to the floor by Jen Walliser. And Lewistown will inbound into backcourt. I told you Melody Gladden, Joel, would let it go from anywhere. I think that had to be at least 35.
It was more than an NBA three from, it might have been in Clinton County from where she let that one go.
Maggie Johnston across midcourt. Johnston bounce pass on the baseline to Worley. Worley in trouble, but Feathers helps her out and gets it back out to Johnston. 5:40 and counting in the third. Feathers for three. She buries it. Jenna Feathers hits the three-pointer, and Lewistown up by 38 with 5:30 to go in the third quarter.
Jenna having her troubles from the free throw line, but surely not having her trouble from the three-point range.
Lock Haven on offense, lobs down inside to Kate Rounsley, and Rounsley banks it up and in for two. Every time they do it, they score. However, they've been unable to do it on a regular basis. Get the ball to Rounsley, and Krista Gingrich call for the travel. Lewistown fans not happy with that one, but that is that NBA shuffle. And the head official right on it to make the call. Turnover gives it back to Lock Haven. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 64-28, the Lady Panthers. Selena Stern got away with a walk. Nothing called over there. She gets it back in the corner. Pull-up jumper, no good. And a foul against Lock Haven on the rebound will be whistled against Tara McBride, the 6-foot sophomore. Lock Haven, as you mentioned before the game, Joel, no question the franchise is Rounsley, but they are a big team. And you look at McBride, who's a sophomore, and you look at Brooke Martin, who's a freshman. They have a nice nucleus with young Stern, a sophomore, also there. Lewistown back on offense. Worley wide open on the baseline, and she puts it up and in for two. 66-28, Lewistown's girls rolling through the quarterfinal round.
Again, Krista Gingrich that time found a wide open Hillary Worley with a good pass.
And another turnover. Gladden has it stolen by Worley. Johnston ahead to Feathers. Jenna at the other end misses the left-handed layup. And the defensive rebound comes down to Walliser. Back to Gladden. Melody Gladden forces up a jumper, and it goes. Maybe not the way she designed it, but it's in. And Lock Haven now with 30 points, but way behind by 36. Gingrich for three. She buries it. Gingrich from about 25 feet. And Lewistown's lead is 39 points.
We're seeing a little playground basketball here, Roger. Get it up the court and fire it up on both teams right now.
Lock Haven on offense goes down low to Rounsley. Rounsley, nice pass on the far side to McBride. McBride from about 10 feet, no good. And McElwain right there with a defensive rebound for Lewistown. Feathers, outlet pass to Johnston. Maggie for three, no good off the front rim. And McBride with a defensive rebound. 3.5 to go in the third. Lock Haven with the ball, trailing by 39 points.
This is absolutely the type of game the Lady Panthers love to play.
Stern down inside to Rounsley. Triple team. Kate shot no good, but McBride with a rebound. The putback, score it, and she's fouled by Hillary Worley. And that will put McBride at the line trying to complete a three-point play. So basically what we talked about in the pregame has come true. We built it as Katie Rounsley against Lewistown, and that's pretty much been the game. And Lewistown with way too many weapons for Lock Haven. Substitution, Zampelli and Snyder back into the ball game for Lewistown. At the line, McBride hits the foul shot and completes the three-point play. And Lewistown with the ball up by 36 as we approach the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Far side, Johnston to Gingrich. Krista for three, and she gets the roll. Thought it was going to be short, but the shooter's touch, it falls, and the lead is 39.
As you said earlier, Roger, this is like a home court to the Lady Panthers and the Boy Panthers.
McBride on the baseline for Lock Haven with a quick shot, no good, but a foul against Lewistown, and that will send McBride to the line to shoot two. 3:02 left to go in the third quarter. you know, sometimes lost in these games, all the excitement of a postseason game and quarterfinal round in AAA, is the fact that several people will be playing their final game tonight. Christina Stern, Melody Gladden, and Katie Rounsley, 3 young ladies for Lock Haven who will be suiting it up for the final time. At the line, McBride hits the first foul shot. 72-34 Lewistown.
Hopefully in 7 more games, Roger, we can say that about the Lewistown Lady Panthers.
At the line, shot up and good. That is how many they would need to win another gold medal. Both foul shots good. Gingrich back for Lewistown for 3, off the front rim, no good. And Kate Rounsley with a defensive rebound. Here comes Lock Haven as Stern will bring it across midcourt. Hands off to her sister, Christina. Christina lobs inside to Rounsley. Rounsley up and in. Katie Rounsley, money in the bank when you can get her the ball inside about 10 feet. But again, it's been few and far between for Lock Haven getting her the basketball.
And Lewistown in the second half has not needed to up the defensive pressure.
Nice high-low pass on offense from Snyder to Zampelli. She can't get it, but they get the rebound. Snyder again to Feathers. Her shot no good. Zampelli another rebound. Johnson for 3, no good. And Kate Rounsley finally with a defensive rebound for Lock Haven. Boy, nice work there by Zampelli and Snyder on the offensive rebounds, but the Lady Panthers could not convert. And Lock Haven back with the ball as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter, and another steal. Gingrich up court, shovel pass. Johnston to the bucket, no good, but she's fouled. And Maggie will go to the line and shoot another pair. Boy, nice unselfish basketball that time by Gingrich. She could have shoved it into overdrive and tried to score herself, but she let the defender come and play the ball and dished it off to Maggie.
That's what you like to see, a textbook 3-on-1 fast break. Gingrich took it right to the middle. Johnston and Feathers filled the left and right lane respectively. And Gingrich found Maggie Johnston. Hard foul that time by Jen Walliser as she's come into this game not going to let any Lewistown player make a layup.
Substitution for the Lady Panthers as Maggie Johnston hits the first of 2 foul shots. As Jada Purcell back in the lineup for Lewistown, replacing Jenna Feathers. So it's Purcell, Snyder, Zampelli, Johnston, and Gingrich on the floor. And Maggie gets both foul shots to fall. Lewistown doubling Lock Haven, 74-37, and the Lady Bobcats got away with an obvious travel in the backcourt. I think the officials are kind of cruising through the second half here. Another steal. Johnston picks it, pushes it up the floor on the far side. Lock Haven in a 2-3 zone. Krista Gingrich out top, dribbles in the lane. Nice pass to Zampelli. She's hammered from behind before the shot. Foul committed by number 54, Tara McBride. And Lewistown will get another inbound under their own bucket with 1:36 to go in the third.
Lock Haven, that's the 4th foul on McBride. Jen Walliser also with 4. Brooke Martin and Melanie Gladden with 3. So Lock Haven a lot of foul trouble, even though it is not really important at this point.
And on the inbound, Krista Gingrich left wide open. Gingrich from about 5 feet, one of the easiest shots the All-Americans gotten all year. She puts that one up and in, and the lead just continuing to grow. 76-37 Lewistown. Stern up court for Lock Haven, knocked away another turnover. Here comes Johnston ahead to Gingrich. Krista all the way to the bucket for 2 more. And I think it's official on another turnover by Lock Haven. Trying to get the ball in bounds. Selena Stern stepped over the end line. I think it's safe to say the wheels have now come off for the Lady Bobcats.
The wheels have definitely come off.
Inbound to Zampelli, pull up, jumper up and in. Andy Zampelli for 2. And Lewistown hitting on all cylinders. 80-37 with a minute to go in the third.
As you know well, Roger, in a split second, Lewistown can go on a run.
And there's another steal. Johnston to the other end, great pass to Purcell. Jada to the hoop, yes! 82-37, Lewistown rolling over Lock Haven. Stern across midcourt. Down low to her sister on the baseline, pull-up jumper up and in by Christina Stern, the senior. And Lewistown, normally you'd say maybe they'd hold for the last shot, but I don't think you need to worry about that in this one. 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. Gingrich for 3, yes! Krista for 3 more, 85-39. I tell you what, if they wanted to put up the pressure, they might be able to hit 100 in the third tonight if they would have wanted to. Another steal. 5 seconds. 4. Gingrich to the other end. Lays it up and in. And that's the end of the third quarter. Mercifully for Lock Haven. 87-39. Lewistown chewing up the Bobcats. We'll be back with more from State College right after this. One minute there, Jim, okay?
Gingrich was 17 in the third quarter.
Just underway in the fourth quarter, Lewistown with the basketball, leading 87-39 over the Lady Bobcats of Lock Haven. Lady Panthers get it inside to Snyder, knocked away and stolen. Sam Pelly with a pass knocked away and stolen, and Katie Roundsley with a steal. Brings it back up court for Lock Haven. Nice pass inside from Roundsley to McBride, who misses the easy shot, and Sam Pelly has a rebound. 7.5 minutes to go. 87-39 is the lead for the Lady Panthers. Johnston in the lane, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound to Purcell. Jada off the rim, no good. Rebound Johnston. Her shot is blocked, but a foul. Katie Roundsley arguing the call, but I don't think they called it against Roundsley. I think they called it against Stern. Yes, it is. Number 21, Christina Stern with a foul. 7:19 to go. Johnston at the line looking for more, and now Kim Maxwell in, and that'll probably be all for Kristen Gingrich tonight. Another All-American effort for Gingrich.
Gingrich with 14 points at the half. Roger came up with 17 big points in the third quarter for the Panthers.
At the line, Maggie Johnston misses the first foul shot. And I believe Johnston will probably also come out of the ball game as Gina Socio waiting to check in at the scorer's table. 7:19 to play. Johnston's second shot, nothing but the bottom of the net, and that'll be all for Maggie. Another nice ovation for another solid effort as Gina Socio will come in. Well, they sold 1,000 tickets in advance. They probably sold another 500 at the door, and the 1,500 that have come from Lewistown have thoroughly, Joel, enjoyed the opener.
And they're ready for a roll, and Kevin Kodish, I'm sure, very happy with this performance tonight. A good performance by the team, and we still have 7 minutes to play.
Lock Haven goes inside to Kate Roundsley. Her shot no good. They tie up for the rebound as Roundsley had tied up Snyder. And the alternating possession error will give it to Lock Haven. Lady Bobcats inbounding under their own bucket with 7:08 to play in the game. McBride out top to Gladden. She'll launch a three-pointer, no good. And Snyder with a nice defensive rebound. Outlet pass to Socio. And Gina across the timeline will now run the Lady Panther offense. Far side to Maxwell. 2-3 zone. Lock Haven's played it most of the second half. Snyder in the high post. Back to Maxwell. Kim launches one from 18 and hits it. Kim Maxwell hits for two. 90-39.
Not sure she was going to take that shot, Roger, and she launched it and she hit it.
Lock Haven lobs down inside again to Kate Roundsley. Roundsley up and in. So Roundsley hits for two more. 90-41 is our score. Lady Panthers will be advancing to the semifinals. Socio out top to Maxwell. Snyder in the high post goes to the bucket hard and is fouled hard by Melody Gladden. And that will put Snyder to the line. And the way Gladden is coming over, I'm wondering if that's it for her. An emotional moment for Gladden as she has fouled out the senior, finishing up tonight here her final ball game.
But when you look at it, Lock Haven came out Monday night, Roger, and won a game to get into this ball game. So
Yeah, a game that many people might have thought they wouldn't have won. An overtime thriller, 91-83 in OT. Snyder at the line misses the first foul shot. But I can tell you as a coach, it's a very emotional moment when those seniors come off the court for the last time. And Melody Gladden, one of three here for Lock Haven, has just finished her career. Second foul shot also no good, and back comes Lock Haven with the ball with 6 minutes to play. Trailing by 49 points. They go inside to Roundsley, score it, and she's fouled. And Katie Roundsley back to the line, working on another three-point play. Roundsley, I think, although I have been wrong before, now has 23 points in the ballgame, I think would be a lock for a first-team Mountain League selection, but stranger things have happened in the voting in the Mountain League. Roundsley, though, has really played well this year for Lock Haven. Misses the foul shot, however. They get the rebound, get it back to Roundsley. Kate in the lane, no good. Offensive rebound, McBride, and Tara McBride puts it up and in for two. Under 6 minutes now to go. The lead is 45 for Lewistown, 90-45. I guess the folks on hand now from Lewistown, Joel, just hoping they'll hit the century mark.
They have 10 to go. Let's give some of the bench an opportunity to get there.
And there is a foul against Stern, and that's going to put Gina Socio at the line. Shooting 1-1, as that's now the 9th team foul against Lock Haven.
As I said earlier, Kevin Kodesh has dressed 17 players tonight, and we've seen, I believe, 10 or 11 of them already, and I look to see all 17 in this one.
Gina Socio hits the first foul shot. 46-point lead. 5:40 to go. Second shot by Socio is also good. 92-45. Stern across midcourt for Lock Haven, picked up there by by Socio. Loose ball, but Stern runs it down. Bounce pass to McBride, and knocked away and stolen from Roundsley by Zampelli. Comes Lewistown. Socio on the far side picks up the dribble, and they'll set the offense. 92-45 is the lead. Socio in the lane, running one-hander. The banks are open as she puts it in. Off glass for Socio. 94-45. Across midcourt, Stern again working the ball, runs off a screen in the high post. Goes down low to Roundsley. Kate to the bucket, scored, and she's fouled. And when Roundsley gets the ball, as I said, I know this is a broken record, but she's going to score on the block. Kate back at the line, trying to complete another three-point play.
That foul is on Andy Zampelli. That is her second, only the 5th team foul for Lewistown in the second half. Lewistown will be in the double bonus, shooting the final 5 minutes of this half.
And the Lady Panthers putting back in the starting front line here as McElwain and Worley back into the game.
Well, Lock Haven still has McBride and Roundsley in the ball game, so it's still a workout for the Lewistown girls. And you're talking Worley being a sophomore.
Lady Panthers back on offense. Purcell at the three-point line gives it up to Worley. Hillary launches a three, no good. And the defensive rebound to Kate Roundsley. 4:40 to go in the ball game. Lock Haven down by 47 points. Out top, Stern picks up the dribble, throws it away. Now they steal it back, however, does Martin, and Martin is fouled by Heather McElwain, and McElwain has been like a magnet tonight with a referee's whistle.
Yeah, Roger, if nothing else, what maybe Kevin Kodesh is thinking here is with Katie in the ball game, it gives McElwain an opportunity to play someone who is a good offensive player down on the blocks and might help her down the road. I mean, that's, I agree with a 45-point lead. It makes you wonder.
Lob inside, Roundsley down low, and McBride puts it up and in for two. Other thing is, McElwain has not really played that much tonight. He's been in foul trouble on the bench. 94-49, Lewistown back with the ball. Maxwell, up and in. Kim Maxwell, the senior, hits another one. And Lewistown 4 points shy of 100. High post, Kate Roundsley from 16 feet, and she puts it in. Katie Roundsley with two more, approaching 30 on the night.
I believe Lewistown scored 100 the first two times these teams met in the season.
On offense, Jada Purcell with the ball for the Lady Panthers. Goes out top to Worley. Hillary gives it up to Maxwell. Maxwell back to McElwain. McElwain to Maxwell. They play catch on the far side. Socio now penetrating, kicking back out to Maxwell. McElwain wide open from about 12 feet, will not fall, and the ball knocked out of bounds last touch by Hillary Worley. So Lock Haven will get it in the backcourt. And substitution now. Heather McElwain will check out of the ball game. And in for the Lady Panthers is Kelly Altieri, a 5'10 freshman. There's also a whistle and a timeout on the court. We'll take one as well. 3:32 to go. Lewistown in command, 96-51. More high school basketball right after this. Jim, this will just be 30 seconds.
Okay.
How are we doing anyhow?
Now we're getting there. We're a little over halfway.
You're kidding me. Okie dokie. No.
3, 2, 1.
Back again live at State College. 3.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Lady Panthers. I guess the only drama left is if and when they win 100. I guess the over-under would be the bet tonight on this one, Joel.
Well, I think between both teams are going to score over 100.
96-51. Lady Panthers with 3:20 to go. McBride out top for Lock Haven after the timeout. Picked up there by Altieri. They go down low inside. Shot is short. They bang for the rebound. McBride gets it back. Her shot no good, and Hillary Worley with a defensive rebound. Outlet pass to Purcell. Jada brings it down court, leaves it up to Socio. Gina driving inside. Scoop shot no good, but she's fouled. And Socio will go to the line to shoot a pair with 3:04 to play.
During that timeout, Mark Stern, I believe, was taking Katie Roundsley out of the ball game, so she's seen her final minutes probably as a Lock Haven Lady Bobcat.
A little surprising as Worley checks out that Mark would not have let Katie get an ovation here tonight. Maybe she will check back in, we'll see. The only other senior on this team. Let's see if she's out of there. Socio, by the way, hits the foul shot. Yes, the other senior was also taken out. Mark's daughter, Christina. So the seniors have finished their time, it looks like, here in Lock Haven. Second foul shot no good by Socio, and the defensive rebound comes down to Lock Haven's Walliser. Stern to the bucket for Lock Haven. Scoop shot no good. The offensive rebound and the putback up and in by number 53, Jen Boyer, another 6-foot freshman. Big curls at Lock Haven.
Heather Wheeler and Kelly Altieri in the ball game for Lewistown, Roger, making their first appearance.
Maxwell in the corner, goes down low to Altieri. She's double teamed. Back to Maxwell. She launches a three. No good. And the defensive rebound to McBride. 2:30 to go. 97-53 Lewistown. And Lock Haven got away with another obvious walk, but it doesn't matter because they got a steal. Here comes Maxwell. Kim trying to go end-to-end. Her shot is blocked out of bounds by Brooke Martin. So Lewistown will get an inbound under their own bucket with 2:17 to go. Lady Panthers up 97. That's right, 97-53. Into Socio to the bucket. Gina lays it up and in. 99-53. And now the Lewistown crowd getting excited about something again as they realize one more hoop will put them over a century.
2 minutes to do it.
Stern out top, knocked away and stolen by Purcell, and a jump ball as Purcell is tied up by McBride, and the Lady Panthers will get it right here. And don't forget, folks, more basketball after this one. Lewistown boys also seeded number 1 in the District 6 AAA bracket, taking on the Flying Dutchman of St. Mary's.
We expect that to be a much better ball game.
Jada Purcell for Lewistown drives the baseline, pull-up jumper no good. Rebound to Socio, she forces one up no good. And the defensive rebound down to Brooke Martin. Martin brings it across midcourt, hands off to Stern, and that's a backcourt violation. Good call by the official. And turnover will give it back to Lewistown, and now more substitutions by Lock Haven as Martin and McBride will come out of there.
All right, Roger, if you're a betting man, who's going to get the 100th point for the Lady Panthers?
Well, there's a couple obvious choices out there of kids who would shoot the ball.
Well,
on
who's your
this
choice?
squad. I like Altieri.
Well, I was going to say Altieri, but since you did, I'm not going to say Altieri. Who just came in the ballgame? I'm going to say Jessie Ware. She's in the ballgame for the first time.
Katie Ware, or excuse me, Gina Socio out top of the ball. Comes near side to Purcell. Purcell to Maxwell. Launches from long range, no good. Rebound to Purcell. Back to Maxwell. Far side, Ware for three, no good. And there's an offensive rebound again by Socio. A minute, 15 seconds to go in the game. Lewistown trying to get 100. Ware out top to Maxwell. They hand off to Socio and they'll reset. 1 minute now to play in the game. Maxwell down low to Altieri. Altieri turnaround jumper, no good. But Socio with another rebound. And they'll get another opportunity. Far side, Ware picks up the dribble. Skip pass nearly thrown away, but Maxwell saves it. Goes to Purcell in the corner. We're down to 45 seconds to play in the game. Maxwell double team, gives it out top. Ware from 18 feet, in and out. No good. And the defensive rebound down to Lockhaven. 35 seconds to go in the game. 99-53 Lewistown. Stern with the ball for the Bobcats. They hand off and launch a three-pointer, no good, but Lockhaven gets the offensive rebound. 20 seconds to go. Stern with the ball in the corner, guarded by Socio, and a foul by Socio to the delight of the Lewistown crowd, because with Lockhaven being over the limit, that means the Lady Bobcats will go to the free throw line, and barring an offensive rebound, the Lewistown girls will get another crack to hit the 100-point mark. And this may be our ringer now, Joel, to get the 100.
You saying Krista Gingrich's back in the ballgame?
No, I'm not saying that, but Socio leaves the floor, and checking back in is Katie Ware, the freshman. I have changed my selection from Altieri to Katie Ware. At the line, Stern, shooting for Lockhaven, hits the first foul shot. And it's 99-54. A 45-point bulge for Lewistown.
They did have numerous opportunities in that last possession to break that century mark.
Second shot, no good, and the rebound to Maxwell. Outlet pass to Purcell. Here they come. 13, 12, 11. Purcell to the bucket, no good. And the defensive rebound to Lockhaven, but it's knocked away and stolen, and Purcell's foul. So Jada Purcell will go to the line, shooting two. Purcell will shoot two foul shots with a chance to put Lewistown over 100, and with 6.2 seconds to play, more substitutions coming in for Lewistown. Let's try to get the numbers for you. Haley Knable into the ball game, Aaron Sear, and Becca Getz. So the Lewistown crowd with something to get excited about, as with 6.2 seconds to play, 99 points, Jada Purcell, the 5'6" senior, will try to put him over 100. Foul shot, yes! And as you can tell, it was good.
That was probably the most pressure shot of the night for Lewistown.
And the second, no good, but nonetheless, Lewistown got what they wanted. Not only a win, but 100 points, and that's the ball game. The #1 ranked Lady Panthers dominate, leading from start to finish and putting away Lockhaven by a final of 100-54. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back with a post-game show, actually the in-between game show, as don't forget the Lewistown boys follow in about 15 or 20 minutes when they take on St. Mary's. We'll be back with more from State College right after this.